This, if you've been on the Keshe Foundation teachings, you know it very well. If you haven't been, you all know even the body of the man is nothing but a mirage of interaction of the three different magnetic fields, which gives you a skin. If I place three different nano layers in a specific way, here you will see physicality. To you, I'm too far. To you, it's dotted line, but there is so many of these layers underneath that at the end, it looks like your skin to be tangible. In fact, even your skin is nothing but a layer of nanomaterial created by the interaction of the three layers of the skin which you have.
Mr. Keshe, can you just do a quick mic check there? It's doing a little bit of scratching.
Is it better now?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm still got the green light, so the battery is good. So, what even you see as your own skin, you feel as your own skin, is nothing but the interaction of the three layers of nano layers in different thickness in your body. If you look at the structure of the stomach, it's the same structure of the heart, the structure of every organ in the body of the man is by the interaction of different layers, which they give themselves physicality manifestation and the body of the man. So what you call GANs now, or what we call nanomaterials in a plasma condition, is part of the structure of your own physical body. Is part of what you are made of. The body of a man is made of GANs in a different shape or forms and strength that it's been programmed to be at a certain strength, certain tissue, muscle, cell at a given point in the body of the man. That's why you all, for example, have a lung in your chest, because the bone structure dictates the position of the lung. And the position of the cells of the lung is decided by mainly the shape and structure of the bone, because the bone encapsulates the body at that point. Why do you have different soft organs when the rib cage is hardly ever there? Open space cavity. And why human race is so vulnerable to different diseases in its abdomen section? Because it's open to every field from everywhere. When you have a rib cage, you control it. When you have an open space, everything is absorbed. Because your body is made of GANs. So you are one huge gravitational magnetical field system. Then, if you understand these things, then you see why what Renan showed you works and to you is puzzling. But in fact, it's nothing. He introduces a new GANs state with the springs in the environment when there's been disturbances, and he just brings it balance. And then you see the disease changes. Because this is the new understanding of the science of medicine. We do not force, we do not give you a tablet to fight the disease. We create a condition of a balance at the point of the disease where the system, the energy received from the pen or whatever, compares its strength with the rest of the cells in its environment. And if there are a few different, the pen or the material he uses looks at the balance in totality of the area. And when these are not in balance, they give and they take what they need. And what happens? They become balanced with the rest of their environment. And then you see the disease disappearing. In plasma technology, we don't fight. That's why it's based on the structure of the piece. We work within to accommodate. You have some, I don't need some, you can take what I have, and I give you what you don't need. If you need it, take it, and when I need it, I take it from somebody else because it's balancing of gravitational magnetic fields and nothing more. Then you see why this technology has become a magic, and a lot of people who understand it will take this to the next step. We see it with Renan. We see it with other people in space in the coming time, and with other people with agriculture, as we've seen with Mexico, Chinese, and the rest of it. At the moment, not only we are reaching the people public the way like these teachings, our ambassadors, people who are teaching governments and officials are reaching both sides. What we are doing, we are literally cascading the humanity from both ends, public and from the top, the government. And very soon, within the next 3 months, we'll open the whole population of the world population into opening because we are coming from both ends. We teach public and we inform the way we did the governments. Public will demand it, governments have to deliver it. What are you trying to show? Can we show that picture? I don't think so. You can put it to Rick. So now, tomorrow, we go to the next step of assembling. And we've seen how production is done in Philippines. Hopefully by Thursday, we receive the first units which are delivered around the world, will arrive here. And we have a prototype which is open. We show you how you assemble the prototype, how you assemble it. Vince, have you received the, Rick, have you received the email from Arman? There's a picture in it. What's the time, please? Have you received it? Arman wants to share this picture with us. Could you tell us who this picture is? Where did you send it to?
Can we give him a little bit to tee it up? And yes, can you advise on where he sent it?
Where have you sent it to? Vince is sending it to you too.
Okay, I'll look forward to.
Okay, then you can show that we don't know what it is. It's a picture he's taken. Is it in Armenia or is it in Georgia? They're doing the test in the institute. Okay, no problem. Are there any questions? We're about 1 o'clock. We stop 1 and then we start at 2 again.
We have 47 open questions. We have answered 112 by text or other way.
Pardon?
We have 47 open questions. We answered only 112 time being.
That's good. If you answer the rest, it opens all the mystery. What is, can you have the question number 46? You already answered number 47.
Can we use lead to make guns, please?
Of course, you can use anything. You can even use your... Would you like to say? We have a student here who knows everything. You said it, you have to repeat it.
No. Brain.
You can use your own brain. You can use anything. The only thing you have to understand is to be able to create a condition that the atomic structure can become Gantt structure. So what it means, you have to be able to come to a temperature or a magnetic field condition that the matter changes, because you need the matter change. Where we don't get it. Why is that coming a line? Oh, I'm too close to it. That's what happens. I want a line. Okay. So what we need, we're still getting. Okay. This is the atomic structure. You have to be able to create heat or gravitational magnetic field that the material can go this way. So what happens is that you do it with the heat, you do it with caustic temperature, you do it with electric current flow, you do it with the plasma flow. You have to create a condition where this area can be changed. You can take the tight packing into an opener packing. So with hydrogen, the best way to create atomic nano GaNs of hydrogen is to use a plasma. Now that we have opened the plasma technology the way you understand, you all can produce GaNs of hydrogen in a very easy way using the plasma. You'll find out to make a GaNs of stainless steel is very difficult because of the structure of the stainless steel, but you still can do it. To produce GaNs of gold is not that difficult. You can do it by creating the right atmospheric condition, or you can do it with the right plasma condition. You can make a GaNs of, as everybody else has done, tomatoes, cucumber, any other material. The hardest thing will be making a GaNs of inert gases. Inert gases to make a GaNs of is not that easy, but it's possible. Next question. Question number 45.
There's a question from Stefano. He mentions Renan puts the wire back into the inner coil from the outer coil. So he uses the...
Can you repeat?
He says Renan puts the wire back into the inner coil from the outer coil. So he uses the magnetical coil to feed back the gravitational instead of doing it from the gravitational coil itself.
Depends what he wants to use it for.
He says, is it more efficient that way?
Yes, depends what you want to use it for, what purpose is used for. The magnetical ring, it depends. If you use it for something else, it will be detrimental. You got to understand what you use the system for. If you want to add to the energy or you want to sustain the energy. Because when you put the magnetical coil in, you take from the environment as well. When you put the gravitational in, you support the system internally. It's a big difference. When you put magnetical pointed in, you are eating with the others. When you put the gravitational through the center, you are using the same strength concentration. For a lot of diseases, you use different ways of setting it and producing it. These rings and these combination of nanomaterial coating will become so common in the coming months and years that people will know what is for what and what you do. It's the same with Alex. Alex uses a slightly different, but the same kind of combination of materials, but he's more into vegetable and what do you call it, fruits and herbal medicine. If you take it a step further, you add this to the Chinese development which you've seen, you can work through the thought control. You can do that with quite a lot of ease. We teach you in the coming weeks on the health teachings how to use the reactors for emotional, what they call the psychological, what they call abnormalities. Yes. Thank you very much. I tried everything. It's better to use that.
It just seems that the projector has just been moved a little bit. We can see that there's a space on the bottom corner of it. So we'll take that, we'll get that taken care of during the break.
The break. Okay. Any other question? Or shall we call it a break? It's 1 o'clock.
Sorry, we have many questions. Several people asking about the soup of mix of CO2 and copper oxide.
Don't drink it.
So some are asking about, is the soup a mix of CO2 and copper oxide, or how long to leave the nano-coated wire in the soup? Or another question,
Oh, I
what
usually.
proportion should we use for making that?
Pardon?
As other asking what proportion, in which ratio to
There
mix?
is no proportion. You do. Let me explain to you something very, very simple. This is what I always say, and if you understand all of it. Ask yourself a single question. There is so much noise in the background. Ask yourself a simple question. When the earth was built, did God stand outside with a scale and he measured how much he's going to put on this and this to make earth? Everything we see is out of the condition of whatever is available at the time is available, the way is available. If God makes the universe without the scale, why does man need a scale? I don't think God ever made a chemistry lab with equations and with what you call biological lab with whatever you call it. You got to learn in the world of plasma to understand it, not to measure it. You work by the strength of the feeling of the emotion and not by a scale and formulas. A lot of you say you've seen aliens, you've been on a spaceship and you've been to the space. Have any of you seen any alien chemist or a scale in their hand? You create the condition and see what that condition gives you. And if you remember how you created it, then that becomes your standard. You don't go, understand something very simply, because I answer you in a very scientific way if you understand. If you don't understand it, it means nothing to you. Not a single oxygen cell, or what I call plasma cell, is made of 2468. I'm going to take this away. I'm going to take this away, then you understand. 2468. These are 8, let's say, protons. We make another 8 neutrons. And then it carries 8 electrons somewhere. Do you think every atomic oxygen carries exactly the same gravitational magnetic field and the same strength? It's impossibility. Look at the combination of the plasmas which are involved in a single atomic hydrogen or atomic oxygen. Look at the combination. It's 16, 24. Or is it? And then what happened? Only this is a slightly different in the strength. The whole plasma of the oxygen will behave slightly different. If this electron is a slightly different strength plasma. The problem with the world of science is you generalize everything too much and now you can't break out of it. Not 2 atomic oxygen in gravitational magnetic field are the same strength. Doesn't matter what formulas you write, because you don't know what happened with this carbon cell with 12 in the nucleus and 6 outside in its boundary. This has interacted with this, its field is different. So in the world of science, in the world of plasma, everything is understanding and the condition you want to achieve. We have a man walking very fast. Oh, our beam has moved. Yes. So, is there a problem in the back? No. Okay, it's shaking too much. So, now you understand there cannot be any formulas in the plasma, because a plasma is a live entity and it interacts with the environment of other plasmas. It takes to find and accommodates the position. There is no way any of you, if you understand the plasma technology, can say we need 2 grams of GaNs to make this effect. Because in that 2 grams of GaNs, there are billions of the plasmas of, let's say, copper, and each one has so many electrons and protons, each one interacting with the wall and the environment, or atmosphere and the environment. So you got to understand, you cannot, it's impossibility to work in the world of plasma with equations, formulas, and amounts, because no 2 plasma is exactly the same. This is the world of reality, but if you want to make an equation, then you have to make a lot of assumptions, and that's where the whole science has gone wrong up to now. Because first law of thermodynamics made a huge number of assumptions to fit into the guy who wrote it and tried to create it, and now we see the messes in. Look at the biggest mistake ever made by anyone regarding simplifying, just trying to assert a nonsense into the world of science that we can't get this man to think any straight anymore. Just look what the hypocrisy is with this single, and I wish the guy would have never stayed the bookkeeper. Do you know how many ridiculous assumptions Einstein has made to make himself famous with this equation? When you put things down to prove your point, you have to make a lot of assumptions, because in the world of plasma, it doesn't exist. You cannot make equations. And the biggest example of it is the biggest failure of science, accepting this as a true science. Because Einstein never understood, so he made a lot of assumptions, and as we know, this is a nonsense. If you really understand mass itself, you can understand what the mass of the energy is, continuously changing, it can never be fixed, because the mass is from the interaction of magnetic field, and he assumed the speed of light is ultimately the speed of light. Now we know it's not there. What happened if I make this 10 to the power of, let's say 10, because now we know there is a different speed. It doesn't apply. And secondly, energy has to be collection of gravitational and magnetic field, and he never understood this. Yes. No, they didn't. The understanding is, in the real world of plasma, there are no equations. You have to understand it, you have to feel it, you have to make a relationship with the interactions. If you want to write a formula, how many grams? Anybody tells us, can you give me how many grams I need? Tell them, can you tell me how many molecules are in a gram of water, about temperature, and which gram? Who measures it? They'll find out. If you work in the world of plasma, which is a universal condition, you have to understand it to achieve what you want according to the environment you operate. We call it the lunchtime. We come back at 2 o'clock. Thank you very much for this session. Please do your homework and show what you have made tomorrow. I enjoyed the mummified units, but please do not mummify, because there is a problem with mummification unless you use fire resistance papers or fire resistance cotton. In case of rapid discharge of energy, it all happens, your cotton burns, nothing else happens. Your unit just might melt down, might not do, but try to use. In the Keshe Foundation, we use fire resistance papers and material. When you see this cotton or mummification, make sure it's a fire resistance. Thank you very much for today. We'll see you at 2 o'clock.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe. Those
Thank
that
you very
still
much.
those that still have questions will have to carry them on till the afternoon session if you'd like to
Just
be
make
present.
sure you keep them like last time, don't wipe them out.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we
Usually-
can keep all of them or in both chats or not. Let's see if
Anyway,
Vince
let's
can
see
do
what
that.
happens.
I'll try just sending you the list of questions, Rick.
Okay, thanks
Okay.
very much.
Great.
Save your chats, please.
Thank you.
Okay, so that ends the morning session for Tuesday, October 27th, 2015. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Okay, I'll end the live stream.